What's up everyone, this is Devin from Project Sax and I'm back with another Project Sax episode. It's been a while since I've been on the air with the actual Project Sax episode, but today we're going to be talking about the one, the only 600 concert touring, Phil Woods playing with, Dave Sanborn playing with, Harry Connick Jr. playing with, saxophone player by the name of none other than 22-year-old Grace Kelly. Now, I came about this artist when I was just browsing Facebook. You know, Smooth Jazz Family always posts, you know, just various pictures, you know, of different artists. You may not know the artist, you may know the artist. And the Smooth Jazz Family, they just post pictures of random artists that they see, you know, playing smooth jazz on the saxophone. I didn't think much of it until I saw what mouthpiece she was actually using, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting mouthpiece. That's a Van Doren V16. That's the mouthpiece that I play. And the reason, or the way I found out that she played that mouthpiece was I saw the little gold ring on the back, and I was like, oh, she plays Van Doren. Let me see if she, you know, is a little bit more like me in the sound area. To see if she like plays something, you know, that makes me, you know, want to listen to her more. So I then looked up her saxophone. I looked up, you know, all her specs or whatever, and I realized that she played a Selmer Mark 6. Now, you really have to be a traditional saxophone player to play a Selmer Mark 6. That's the saxophone that all saxophone players want. It's that saxophone that goes down in history. It is the Rolls Royce, it's the Ferrari, it's the Viper, it's the highest class of saxophone that you could possibly ever get for the jazz nowadays. And even any other saxophone player playing any other genre would want that saxophone. So I knew that if Grace Kelly had that saxophone, that she really valued sound and valued a good horn. Now, I looked up another video, which I'll probably put the link in the description, about where the sound of the Mark 6 came from and its legendary, you know, backing by many different artists like Brecker and Coltrane and Branford Marsalis and things like that. But when I heard that she played with different artists like Wynton Marsalis and Phil Woods and Dave Sanborn, I was like, wow, you know, she has a lot of backing from good artists, reputable artists that, you know, I'd like to meet one day, not let alone play with. I'd like to just meet them in person. So it was just wonderful just to see Grace Kelly do her thing with Dave Sanborn and Phil Woods. She even made like a little album series with Phil Woods, and it's just wonderful just to see her do her thing. She's been dedicated ever since she's 12 years old. Yes, if you're playing with legends like Phil Woods at the age of 22 and David Sanborn, you have to be dedicated from a young age. And yes, from the age of 12, she was very dedicated to keep her saxophone prowess up, her dedication of her making of her album. She made an album when she was 12, and she, you know, had backing from her parents. Her parents owns a company, and her family, well, it's her family company, and she got a lot of backing to make the tracks, the albums, the artwork. And I'm pretty sure when she, you know, puts it out there, it's something worth hearing. Well, when you see Grace Kelly for the first time, you notice that her actual ambiance, her vibe is very free, it's very friendly, it's very inviting to her fans. She always signing autographs. She's very humble. She's not very showboaty. She's very, very talented, and she has a great sound. Her persona actually matches the sound of her saxophone. Her experience is very, very fluent through the sound of the horn. Her rosy Mark 6, dark, at the same time very punchy sound. It's very contemporary when it comes to jazz. It's very, very in your face. And when you see Grace Kelly, you see a happy, just wonderful musician that loves what she does and puts out exactly what she does. Not only does she play the saxophone, she plays piano, she sings. I wouldn't be surprised if she danced, if she could do magic. She pretty much does everything, the production, the writing of the music. She, you know, she's worked with various people who've taught her better things about writing music, or, you know, just help her step her game up in music and writing in general. And it's very, very fun just to see her, you know, put things together, and her unique spin on the music. Her genre is very, very different and unique. It's not like just, you know, the regular thing that may be rehashed or you might hear every day in the smooth jazz area. There might be some songs with very, very long tones. She has a very, very deep theme to her music, and you really have to get into it to know it's a totally different artist, not one that you may have heard before. So you have to really listen to her music to really understand the vibe that she's throwing across with her music, and just a very, very good artist, and that's why we're talking about Grace Kelly today on the show. I think one of the biggest things that got me when I went and started to listen to Grace Kelly, I went and did my research and everything. I think one of the biggest things that got me was her Kickstarter. She had a Kickstarter about a week ago, or a couple of days ago. It just ended. And it was a month-long Kickstarter for $50,000 for her first debut album, as she said. It was just so inspiring to see. She's like, I've done 600 concerts already as a band leader, and it's like, wow, like what? She doesn't have like a debut album that I've seen before. But now, when I went further in my research and I found her website, it actually said that she was doing a Kickstarter. So she's staying on it, and this was a $50,000 Kickstarter for her first debut album. Now she has, like I said before, 7 other albums, or 6 or 5, how many other albums that she's done on her own with her family's business, I believe. And this is the first one she says that she gets to fund like a usual CD, like a regular CD, like a bigwig would do that's already in the game of music production. And she wanted to produce it fully as much as she possibly could, so she did a Kickstarter, which is very smart, and got $50,000. As of now, she got $50,000 plus, and the Kickstarter is over now. And I wasn't able to Kickstarter like I wanted to, but when her debut album comes out, I will be purchasing it. So it's kind of a win-win on both sides. Even though I can't Kickstarter or help her with her Kickstarter that's already passed, I can go ahead and buy her CD. But yes, beautiful Korean American 22-year-old Grace Kelly. She is the saxual Grace to the saxophone. One of the shining beacons of our smooth jazz saxophone music industry, period, for instrumentalists especially. So I'm telling you guys, you need to go out, buy her CD when it comes out, follow her on Instagram, Twitter. She has a whole bunch of social networks she's following. You know, just go to her page. I think it's gracekellymusic.com. And you can just find everything you need to know about her, everything she's done. You get little free ringtones on the website. It's just wonderful. Just to see an artist nowadays do something that a lot of artists aren't doing. So follow Grace Kelly, listen to her music, and this is Devin from Project Sax once again wishing you good sound.
Grace Kelly seems like a really awesome person. Her music's really inspiring to me. I played the baritone saxophone. It's a really big instrument, like 2 times my size. And it's hard for me to play it sometimes. Like, it's a really low instrument, so I have to learn how to get to those really low notes. She started at age 12, and I'm at age 13. She's a female saxophone player. She was close to my age when she started, and look at her now. She's 22, my brother's age, and she's been playing with tons of saxophone players. Now, I personally can't wait until her new debut album comes out, called Working for the Dreamers. I think you guys should go check her out. She's really awesome.